to know how I got my entire roof replaced for less than half what my neighbors paid? This hidden 2020. Hello, everyone. This case that I'm just going to talk about, is it really a case of uh, lawlessness or intimidation? For me, that's just the way I'm looking at it. I just came out. I was actually supposed to do another video, and then I saw this tweet that Mr. Peter Obi had put out, and he's talking about the fact that his brother's house was being demolished, a property that he owned, and the brother called him that he had to go in there. But it's a whole lot of drama. Let me start from the beginning. Let's just go through it because I just started reading. I'm like, what is really, what is really going on? So Mr. Peter Obi started the tweet by saying that any society where lawlessness overrides the rule of law is not destined to be a heaven for investors. Recent reports showing that Nigeria's human rights indicators have worsened merely highlight severe shortfalls in government protection for civil liberties, personal security, and basic living standard. I know what I've been going through as a person in abuse of my human rights just because I contested a presidential election, which I have legitimate rights to do. And so that's one thing that many people don't see. And so when I see people talking about Mr. Peter Obi not having courage, or do you think I'm looking at that, like, what do you people think is courage? You think it's to be shouting or to ask people to go and do the things that you will not do? That's what people think is courage. There are people who will sit down and say, oh, people should do this for me. People are supposed to do this, be on the street, but they will not be on the street leading it. Courage in Nigeria to stand against, government and speak consistently. It's not an easy thing, and not many people can do it. And he has done it, and a lot of things have been done against him, his family, or whatever. He keeps quiet, he keeps going, and he stays strong. So he says, so I imagine what small business owners, regular citizens, and vulnerable communities face every year. If this level of lawlessness can happen to someone with a registered company and legitimate means, what hope does the ordinary Nigerian have? And Mr. Peter Obi continued by saying, this morning, my youngest brother called me frantically, informing me that a group of people have invaded his company property in Ikeja, Lagos, and were demolishing the building. He had just come in from Port Harcourt and was denied entry to the property by security men who told him the building was being pulled down. And let me even first of all stop there to say the rate at which, especially in Lagos, is so easy for buildings to be pulled down. And I just don't even know. Even in Abuja here, it happened a lot, even though I've not heard some of those things in recent time. This is a country where, first of all, we have a huge shortage of housing. And you know how expensive it is to build. Nigeria, so you build, it's your money you are using to build. But government finds it so easy to destroy, to demolish things that they cannot build. And then sometimes you find that they will demolish it and then carry the land and hand it over to their cronies. That's one of the things that Wiki has been accused of doing here in Abuja. And you're wondering, even if you say some people didn't get certain land illegally or whatever, as long as it's not a major environmental threat or something, you can do that paper. Find them. Even if you say they've done wrongly, give them a fine, redo those papers, let them pay whatever it is. And then those houses are there. You destroy these houses, you're not going to bring back another house to replace it. Even if you're going to do it, that house that would have been brought by there, build it in another place. Because the house that you've destroyed, you're not going to get it back and use it somewhere, somewhere else again. He said, okay, he had just come in. They even informed him that this demolition has started over the weekend. As a peace-loving Nigeria, he quickly started processing to go to court immediately, not knowing what must have resulted in this, as they move fast to destroy the home without any restraint. I rushed to Lagos from Abuja after the call this morning. I headed straight to the property. On arrival, I was met by security people who tried to bar me from entering the property.
I humbly pleaded with them that the property belonged to my brother's company, and from the records, the company had owned the property for over a decade. They told me they had a court judgment, and I immediately requested it. You will not believe that the court judgment they claim was issued against an unknown person and squatters. I went further to ask about a demolition order or permit, and there was none. Can you imagine? There was none of that. But you could openly, you could hit your chest and just begin to destroy. All you needed to do, bring some security personnel. That is it. The next thing, they will collect that land and they will issue it to whoever they want to issue it among themselves. And they own a land that they ordinarily do not own. How do you sue an unknown person? How does a court issue a judgment in such a farce of a case? No one was served. No name was written. Yet, they showed up with excavators and began destroying a structure that has stood for over 15 years. I immediately asked the excavators for the person who had sent them, and they said they didn't know anyone. Can you imagine? They were only informed to come and demolish the house. I immediately told them to tell whoever is it that I would like to speak with them if they can call my number, which I share with the excavator, so that I can speak with whoever gave them the order to demolish the property. I stood there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. waiting to get a call at least, and nobody called or came. The contractor even said he didn't know who sent him. Really? 2 men later came and said they would like us to go to a police station. I asked if they even had a demolition order, but they had nothing. The whole situation screamed of coordinated lawlessness and impunity. Our country has become lawless. I just started reminiscing about how just over the weekend, I had a meeting when someone told me how he had investments in Ghana, Senegal, and the Benin Republic, but won't touch Nigeria, despite his market being here. I asked him why. His answer was piercing. Nigeria is a lawless country. Until we have laws that protect people, nobody will invest in Nigeria. I'm just shocked. How did Nigeria get to this level of lawlessness? What kind of a country are we trying to build when the rights of citizens, their lives, their properties, and their voices are trampled upon daily? I remain committed to a better Nigeria where lawlessness will be a thing of the past, protection of life and property, respect for human rights, care for the less privileged, and basic education for all children. A new Nigeria is possible. For me, I think this screams more of intimidation than even the lawlessness. Yes, there's lawlessness in Nigeria, but is it really just this was done or because he happens to be Peter Obi's brother? Or now they begin to go everyone and everybody that is either related to Peter Obi, supports Peter Obi, stands with Peter Obi, or with Peter Obi. These are some of the things that we have to begin to ask. There are a whole lot of things that will be done. And for me, what I would say to everyone is, let's tighten our belts. The only way that they can intimidate us is if we refuse to look fair in the eye and say, bring it on.
Without the ones like you working tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. No matter your industry, Granger's here for you with professional-grade supplies. Call. Picture this. You're standing on the brink of something incredible in your career. You can feel it.
All good?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Just yesterday, just on Sunday, I came back from the US. And my younger brother told me an emergency wants to see me. And I saw him yesterday on my way to Abuja. He said to me that the land, the company land, Nest Food Limited, the land they own for over 10 years, probably over 15 years, belonging to them. And some people just jumped into it and said they are the owner, that they have got injunction, and that they are about to start work soon. I said, okay, we'll go to court. But they won't be released without having proper documentation and everything. But yesterday, he called me. He said they removed the roof. They brought 3 tractors to demolishing everybody as fast as they can. And I said, no. I'll leave Abuja this morning. Let me go there personally. He said all effort for them to enter there, they will refuse even enter. And they've chased out the people who are living there. So there's nothing they can do. That's how I came from Abuja with first time this morning from Abuja. Close to this place. Ask the people who authorized it to the money. They said I've cut injunction that the owner gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. He just gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. Can I see the cut injunction and see who the owner is, the person who is now claiming his shield? They gave me the cut injunction. The cut injunction explicitly said unknown person. How can you sue an unknown person? I said the land belongs to you. A land with property. And within yesterday and today, they demolished the property. Look at it. They removed the roof, they removed the thing. Okay, give me your proper documentation, demolition orders, because even if you want to demolish the house, you go to the state, they give you order to demolish, give the appropriate documentation, bring safety people and them, so that we know we're doing what is now. It's only while I'm here now that some people came and said they safety order. What kind of a country is this? How do you descend to this level of rascality? How can you show a non person? Enter somebody's land and everything. I've been here for 4 hours. I've not seen one person who comes and says, I'm the owner. 3 people or 2 or 3 people have appeared. Are you the owner? No, I'm not. But I'm acting on behalf. I said, so who is the owner? No name. They've not called the name. I said, but you know my name. I'm Peter. I want to know the next person so I can even approach him and say, please, this land belongs to a company that my brother is the majority shareholder. We country can't go on like this. We're looking for foreign investors, we're looking for investors. But look at how local investors are being treated. Is that how a country can thrive? This level of lawlessness, this level of rascality.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You can see the equipment that are here. You can see things that are here. Nobody could remove anything. Is that how a country works? They just came suddenly, started demolition. You know, if my brother didn't have a brother like me, he wanted to enter here. They said, no, you can't enter. We have got injunction. What about got injunction that allows somebody to enter into another person's property? They shoot him for removing his things and everything, and demolishing everywhere. What about got injunction in that? We are finished with the country.
Hello everyone, I'm sure you've watched that, and I'm just reading reactions to different people on this whole thing. And I think in as much as we know what is going on.
So right when I thought Mom would start taking it easy with her osteoporosis, boom, we moved to this cool new place in the city.
What is going on? Oh, I'm just trying to I'm just trying to really process this whole thing, this whole madness that usually would happen, and the audacity that they have, this whole intimidation tactics. For me, like I said in the video I did yesterday night, is this really just about land, or is it about intimidation? So about anybody, either you're close to Peter Obi or you support Peter Obi or you want him, they're like sending a message to say, we are coming after every one of you or stuff like that. But guess what? It's not going to work. The only thing it's going to do is that it's going to make people more resolved. You understand? And let me just read what Sarah Ibrahim wrote here. She said, this administration is afraid of Peter Obi. They are all scared to the bones and are going after him. You all are going after one man and are still freaking losing. Now you cowards are going after his family. Enough is enough. Nobody has monopoly to madness. Just know this. Nigeria will shake just at the snap of Peter Obi's fingers. You do not know what you're trying to ignite. And I will advise that the last thing you would want is provoke a man whose calm already commands millions. Because when he speaks, it won't just be a protest. I assure you it won't. It will be a reckoning. and you feel it. And people went on to talk about, even in the main tweet that Mr. Peter Obi had done, people went on to talk about, how rule of law plays a really important thing, and how people would not want to come and invest, of course, because they are not sure their properties, their investment will be safeguarded, because you have a place where you can just go and bring any court ruling, any court order, any whatever, just like that. You just carry it and bring it, and that's it. And so that in its own way has made people to not want to do business in Nigeria. We have Osasu Oba Yuwanda saying, we get unknown soldiers, we get unknown police, we get unknown civilians, all is equal to unknown government, at Fela Kuti in his song Unknown Soldier. This song is as relevant in 2025 as it was in 1978, a deeply sad commentary about the current sorry state of Nigeria. How are you having people who are literally like nameless, voiceless? You're coming to destroy a house, you don't have proper documentation, you don't have who it is, you say you don't even know who sent you, so they just tell you start going there to go and destroy, and you just go and destroy somebody's property just like that. There is no this thing that follows, and then you bring in security doesn't even allow the person to get onto his property, to talk to people, to do anything. If this particular person didn't, no comment. Honestly, that's just the thing that I'm going to say right now, that you know what, there's really no comment. It's just the absurdness of all of these things, out there. A banana republic indeed. No demolition order, no court document addressed to anyone. Our leaders in this country now go into people's homes unannounced to demolish it and then run away. And this is also from Sarah Ibrahim in a tweet she made yesterday. And she said, since Peter Obi ran for presidential election, it has been from one attack to another, and now they're attacking his family. This is unacceptable. Tyranny has been used to replace politics. This is not democracy. I will not take this anymore. Enough is enough. And that's what she said back then. Edozi John Akuyili says, so sad. This is why people are afraid to invest in Nigeria. The government can seize or destroy your property at any time with no consequences. Another person said, oh my God, Nigeria is now officially a banana republic and a cesspool of corruption and impunity. APC, well done. The lawlessness will consume you all. And that's one of the things that people really don't understand. At the end of the day, the lawlessness that you either do today or you support will consume everyone, because you will not be in power forever. And there are times when the stake will close, will change. And that's why a lawful society is the one that favors everybody.
The number one food for regular BMs, huh? Okay, let's see.
Fastest way to clear out stuck poop?
You see much destruction.
They didn't even allow anybody to remove anything. You can go. They didn't allow anybody to remove anything. You can see the equipment that are here. You can see things that are here. Nobody could remove anything. Is that how a country works? They just came suddenly, started demolition. You know, if my brother didn't have a brother like me, they would. He wanted to enter here. They say, no, you can't enter. We have got injunction. What about got injunction that allows somebody to enter into another person's property, refuse him for removing his things and everything, and demolishing everywhere? What about got injunction is that? We have finished the country. I have peacefully gone to court. No quarrel, no issues. We will.
All the glasses gone. All glasses.
Just yesterday, just on Sunday, I came back from the US. And my younger brother told me that the agency wants to see me. And I saw him yesterday on my way to Abuja. He said to me that the land, the company land, Nest Food Limited, the land they own for over 10 years, probably over 15 years, belonging to them, that some people just jumped into it and said they are the owner, that they have got injunction, and that they are about to start demolishing it. I said, okay, you go to court. And they won't demolish it without having proper documentation and everything. But yesterday evening, he called me. He said they've removed the roof. They brought 3 tractors or 2,000, they're demolishing everybody as fast as they can. And I said, no. I'll leave Abuja this morning. Let me go there personally. He said all effort for them to enter there, they've been refused even entry. And they've chased out the people who are living there. So there's nothing they can do. That's how I came from Abuja. We first fly this morning from Abuja, drove to this place, asked the people who authorized it to demolish. They said they have got injunction that the owner gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. They just gave them this. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. Can I see the court injunction and see who the owner is, the person who is now claiming is sued? They gave me the court injunction. The court injunction explicitly said, unknown person. How can you sue an unknown person and say the land belongs to you? a land with property. And within yesterday and today, you demolish the property. Look at it. They've removed the roof, they removed everything. Okay, give me your proper documentation, demolition orders, because even if you want to demolish a house, you go to the state, they give you order to demolish, give you appropriate documentation, bring safety people and them, so that we know we're doing what is. Now, it's only while I'm here now that some people came and said they are from Lagos State, they are safety order, and they say, what kind of a country is this? How do you do descend to this level of rascality? How can you see an unknown person enter somebody's land and everything? I've been here for 4 hours. I've not seen one person who comes and say, I'm the owner. 3 people or 2 or 3 people have appeared. Are you the owner? No, I'm not. But I'm acting on behalf. I say, so who is the owner? No name. They've not called the name. I say, but you know my name. I'm Peter Obi. I want to know the next person. So I can even approach him and say, please, this land belongs to a company that my brother is a majority shareholder. We country can't go on like this. We're looking for foreign investors. We're looking for investors. But look at how local investors are being treated. Is that how a country can thrive? This level of lawlessness, this level of rascality. So he's a senior advocate. He knows what is happening. What he's saying is a simple thing. The documents of this property is well documented and everything. And that is why it is important that the owner appears and brings his own documents for verification. All we're saying is you laying claim to something, the court case, when they sued an unknown person, a property like this cannot be owned by an unknown person, fenced. It's owned by a company. And that company, this is their lawyer. I'm only...
Sorry.
Wait, sir. Let me read the right, sir.
Okay, sorry. Where is Doctor going? Where is he going? Okay, can we speak?
Yes, you can.
You say you're the lawyer to the...
Yes, I am. Yes.
I don't know. Can you give us a perspective here? Because I don't know. We all came here and saw that.
On Friday, just this last Friday, we were called upon that some people came here to levy execution on Friday. We never knew about the pendants of any suit at all. Nothing, nobody knew. The suit was filed against persons unknown. Unknown persons was the defendant in the case. What we did was to say, let us quickly rush to the registry to see the process filed, the process they relied upon to come to this place. We now got it only to discover that they came by way of what they call originating summons. And they were even claiming possession, not title, not ownership of the property. Possession. The originating summons is that it's not an issue that ought to be controversial or contested. And they were just claiming possession. Possession means they want to take over. But there was no claim for, I am the owner, that is title. It wasn't there. We made copies of all those processes and walked all through Friday. On Monday, we filed our application, which was yesterday. We filed a motion, 1, for joinder. Let us be joined in the case, as parties in the case. And we attached an affidavit where we annexed copies of material documents showing that we truly own the house. We attached the deed of assignment, we attached the CO4, we attached every document to show that we genuinely own the house. We also filed a separate application seeking to set aside that order of the court, because the order was obtained without the court knowing that other persons own it. They just sued unknown persons. And I can assure you that if you go through the attached evidence of service, but I can assure if you go through, you see that what they normally do is that they go behind there now, paste the court process, snap it, remove it, and go back to the court to file as evidence that they have effected service. We attacked all those things in our application seeking to set aside that judgment. We also filed an application setting aside further execution, which is what they did. Staying further execution, which is what they did. We also have a leg on injunction pending the hearing of the suit. We also have a prayer where we are saying, my Lord, convert this case to pleading so that everybody will file their own side of the story. And the court will take a plenary session and hear us out. That is where we are. We are about to serve, we have not served them, truly, but then the registry coming to serve them. But I expect that as a lawyer, if you know, like I did disclose to the man who came as their lawyer, that there is a pending application of this nature, which applications are of grievous nature. I think the proper thing to do, the circumstances, would have been to await the hearing of that application. Then the court rule on it one way or the other. That is where I expect my colleagues to take it to and say, oh, since they have come, although he's entitled to say he has not been served, but I'm also entitled to assume that having spoken to him, I'm a senior advocate of Nigeria. If I tell him that this is what is going on, he can wait. He should also indulge me, because I will do that and wait. You are not running anywhere. It is the house. The house will not run. The house will not run to anywhere. Are you getting my point? Because the houses are fixed. I mean, the houses are fixed to the land. You can't carry the land down. You can't carry anything anywhere. So what you do in the circumstance would have been simply to take time, wait for the process, take it, react to it, and show that you have a superior title. And then we'll take it from there.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Alright, sir.
Thank you.
Don't let me go inside here.
I will get it from this guy. My phone is already gone.
So we're going to court. Once you put the show on notice, every other thing stops. We're now in court. Clearly, so the unknown person have appeared. Business fruits. They went to court against unknown person. The unknown person have appeared. His documents, and he has documents to back it up. Thank you. That's what we do. Waiting for now. No, I'm giving you this.
Yeah, I know.
Don't okay, sir. Don't worry. Once they come from court now, you see me give you paper, collect it, go home. Because the law is very simple. If you say you're the owner of this canal and you're struggling to get it, if I go to court and say the owner, once I put any injunction in court, any application in court, stop. Until court determines who is the owner. And that's all I want to give you. Just give you paper. When I give you paper, as contract, wait. Maybe tomorrow is me you'll be working for. Your job is contract. Nobody says, who hire you.
Dave Smith Motors is your destination for trucks, the world's largest Jeep Ram dealer. Visit Dave Smith Motors right now to lock in your...
hello, Nigeria don't happen to Obi's brother. Oh. This is Peter Obi. They were come for demolish property of his brother for Lagos. He don't tweet a very long tweet. Also made a video. So for this class, I go analyze both. Listen to the video.
See the equipment that are here. You can see things that are here. Nobody could remove anything. Is that how a country work? They just came suddenly, started demolition. You know, if my brother didn't have a brother like me, they would. He wanted to enter here. They said, no, you can't enter. We have got injunction. What about got injunction that allows somebody to enter into another person's property? They're shooting for removing his things and everything, and demolishing everywhere. What about got injunction is that? We are finished with the country.
We're good? I already have it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Let's go.
Just yesterday, just on Sunday, I came back from the US. And my younger brother told me an emergency wants to see me. And I saw him yesterday on my way to Abuja. He said to me that the land, the company land, Nest Food Limited, the land they own for over 10 years, probably over 15 years, belonging to them. And some people just jumped into it and said they're the owner, that they have got injunction, and that they're about to start demolition. I said, okay, we'll go to court. And they won't demolish it without having proper documentation and everything. But yesterday, he called me, said they've removed the roof. They brought 3 tractors, 2,000, demolishing everything as fast as they can. And I said, no. I'll leave Abuja this morning. Let me go there personally. She said all effort for them to enter there, they refused even enter. And they've chased out the people who are living there. So there's nothing they can do. That's how I came from Abuja. We first flight this morning from Abuja, drove to this place. As the people, they were authorized to the money. They said I've got injunction. That the owner gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. They just gave them. I said, who is the owner? They said they don't know the owner. Can I see the court injunction and see who the owner is, the person who is that claiming is sued? They gave me the court injunction. The court injunction explicitly said unknown person. How can you sue an unknown person? I said the land belongs to you. A land with property. And within yesterday and today, demolishing property. Look at it. They've removed the roof, they removed the thing. Okay, give me your proper documentation, demolition orders, because even if you want to demolish the house, you go to the state, they give you order to demolish, give you appropriate documentation, bring safety people and then, so that we know you're doing what is now. It's only while I'm here now that some people came and said they are safety orders. What kind of country is this? How do you descend to this level of rascality? How can you show a non person? Enter somebody's land and everything. I've been here for 4 hours. I've not seen one person who comes and says, I'm the owner. 3 people or 2 or 3 people have appeared. Are you the owner? No, I'm not. But I'm acting on behalf. I said, so who is the owner? No name. They've not called the name. I said, but you know my name. I'm Peter Obi. I want to know the next person so I can even approach him and say, please, this land belongs to a company that my brother is the majority shareholder. The country can't go on like this. We're looking for foreign investors. We're looking for investors. We're looking at how local investors are being treated. Is that how a country can thrive? This level of lawlessness, this level of rascality.
You don't hear us so say for this property where they demolish the court paper where they get there and call them general court judgment. General court judgment. That is one for all. It's like you go court now or by yourself you type out something. Person where they claim the land, they no write the name. The person where they address her to, they no write the name. The address, they no write down. The name of the company, they no write down. Allegedly. It means with that, you cannot be doing like this. Destroy. All you need bulldozer, area boys, police, and that general court document. You go just the waka like this, eh? That one, this one, that one, this one. Here's the court paper.
With the trusted protection of AAA securing your home, your guard dog can...
Name of the claimant? Nobody the claimant more. You know, address that to me. Another place, destroy. Court judgment. See, one for all, one for all. Allegedly, according to the Nigerian one ourselves, I believe, say, as we talk so, somebody there somewhere, they cook up story, they cook something. Instead of saying those people must be arrested that did that. Instead of being sincere with the situation, instead of setting the record straight to set signal to the invader, they will try to justify the demolition. No accountability, rather to silence people when they complain. Because this thing, and don't say people when they cry since. No be only Lagos, so hope see. Incident overview. Obese younger brother's company property demolished in Ikeja, Lagos. Property has stood for over 15 years. Demolition carried out by unknown individuals. You don't ever say it like that. No demolition notice, no legal documentation shown. Okay, Obi's first account. He said on his Twitter page, this morning, my youngest brother called me frantically, informing me that a group of people had invaded his company property and were demolishing the building. That his brother just arrived from Port Harcourt and was denied entry by security men to his own property. Told demolition began over the weekend. Continue. Obi's response. When Obi heard this thing from his brother, he said the first way he do, he flew down from Abuja immediately. He won't enter the place. They say you don't be enter. On his arrival, you can't enter. Security men said demolition was based on a court judgment. A court judgment. Me say the person where they claim the land and Obi's brother, the current owner, allegedly, they must have gone to court and there is a judgment. And Obi's brother, not go any court, no record, unless na dream. Now they carry and go court. How manage? Now come get court judgment. Why you never follow na go court? I mean a ghost, okay, because it's not court order, court judgment. Not notice, court judgment. You get the point now? Because say, I humbly pleaded with them that the property belonged to my brother's company. They told me they had a court judgment. I immediately requested for it. Nature of the court judgment. Judgment was against unknown persons and quarters. For that video, we'll be able to show machines. No name mentioned. No demolition order included. Aside judgment, you carry me go court concerning my property, or they carry me go court concerning your property. Aside the judgment say, now you win. They should also give you a demolition order. Not be only the judgment. It's the judgment plus the demolition that gives you power to claim another person's property. He said, how do you sue an unknown person? You said you sue the person that occupied that land before you demolished it, aka Obi's brother, okay? How do you sue an unknown person? How does a court issue a judgment in such a force of a case? How? No one was served. Wow. Situation on ground. Excavators present. No one knew who said them as at that time. I stood there from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They wait for the person where they claim the land. You carry us go court, abi? You said you have a judgment. Now we dey here. Now make you come. We dey. Nobody come. Waiting to get a call. He said he dropped his own number. Say, make una call me in case you no wan give me the person number. If he use unknown number, call me. Nobody call his number. Contractor had no idea who gave the instruction. Even the contractor where the person bring on the property, he don't even know who gave the instruction. Is this no lawlessness? This one will be lawlessness. If nobody is arrested, it means we don't talk to Banana Republic. If this is true, you get the point now. Hey, if alleged, because me I know they there. Hey. 2 men later asked them to go to the police, but had no papers. You get the point now? Impact on investment climate. Obelisks the event to Nigeria's investment struggles. The reason why we say investors no they agree come because of the bad news what did they hear from Nigeria. Just like last time I did a video where they encourage people say Nigeria they viable, you feel come, say they crazy there, what did they worry you? Maybe that country where they hear bad news every day, you want to see us come there, look away that trap. You understand? Because then they see, then they read. Irrespective of how you go say bloggers are not patriotic, promote Nigeria. When one of us try to promote it, the information where they get, it better pass the one who like this one now, they use your own hand, they destroy the country. If nobody is arrested on this to set signal to both local and foreign investors, it means say that's why they power and they use hand, they drive investors away. They stop people from coming to invest. They use their own hand, they destroy the country. That's what I say. They analyze the situation, okay? When he talk concerning investor, he said just over the weekend, I had a meeting, I will be the talk so with someone who told him he has investment in Ghana, Senegal, and the Benin Republic. But who touched Nigeria? I asked him why. His answer was, yes, Nigeria is a lawless country. Me say, although the people say they get law, but the law, the way where they use them.
Romans 8:28 reminds us that God works for the good of those who love him. You may be feeling stuck or uncertain.
Blessed law, no day. It's lawless. People operate anyhow. We enter room, just type court judgment. No put name. Which judge will give that type of court judgment? And those people, they will walk out free. In short, they go so deny her. Say, there was nothing like that. Say, they take carry name. Lawless! Until we have laws that protect people, nobody will invest in Nigeria. That will be the top song. Broader economic context. Nigeria faces declining foreign direct investment. You know. Investors, they fear due to weak legal protections. In short, you bring all your life earnings, carry come, build a company. Year one, no issue. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. Nobody's arrested. No compensation. Nothing. It discourages others from coming in. You get the point now. Business uncertainty from arbitrary government actions. Effect on citizens and rights. Obi compares what happened to the abuse he faced after contesting for president. For you to contest for president, just because I contested a presidential election, which I have legitimate rights to do as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They even said he failed, it's okay, right? For you to even contest it at all, according to him, now only you know what they go through. So, I imagine what small business owners, regular citizens, and vulnerable communities face every day. If this level of lawlessness can happen to someone with a registered company and legitimate means, not be say, now your own money, what hope does the ordinary Nigeria have? You get the point now. Now in the talk, me and the amplify and the explain. Current status. No government agency has taken responsibility concerning this matter. No official demolition order has surfaced since that time. Maybe they see they try to get one, I don't know. Public speculation continues over motive and legality. Final message from Obi. Any society where lawlessness overrides the rule of law, say you won't weigh these two things. You put lawlessness for one place. You put, which the other one say, lawlessness versus rule of law. Rule of law. Then you weigh them. You can't say, waiting the win, now lawlessness, now they win. Lawlessness, now they win. The law no can get power. Rule of law can weak. Rule of law they fail. Rule of law He can't fall like this. This one can get more power. What do they encourage? He said, in a situation like that, where you see for yourself, it's not destined to be heaven for investors because everybody will protect their money. They don't want to lose something because the environment where they want to operate now lawlessness and the power pass rule of law. A place where there is no name on court judgment. The offense vision for a better Nigeria. According to him, where lawlessness ends, life and property are protected. Once this one is stopped, the lives of people and the properties of people are protected. As long as this one, they try by all means, may come get power past lawlessness, okay? Civil rights are respected. Education and care for the vulnerable are guaranteed. Now don't hear that so, what you not think? Say, if self still believe say a new Nigeria is possible, he drop on there. He never give up. Where do you think for this matter? Say, now general court's judgment, the thing they were kind of without even demolition notice. Why they bring us? Which name? Go see carry the same paper, enter another house, another property. Drop off a comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. If you are watching this on another channel, say, big press the follow button. Thank you.
Have you been injured in a car accident recently? Wondering if you need a lawyer? If you've been hurt in a car accident and it wasn't your fault, hiring an attorney could
Yeah, we're working together.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, admitting in a public forum that hunger and poverty are largely responsible for the continuous national security threats being experienced in Nigeria, is a direct indictment of Tinubu and his administration. He literally said that Tinubu has failed, that he has failed to lift Nigerians out of poverty. In fact, due to his policies, he has plunged more Nigerians into poverty than he met them. By saying this, the Chief of Defense Staff is also agreeing with P2B. P2B has been consistently saying that if you fail to lift people out of poverty, you can never solve insecurity. An idle man is the devil's workshop. If people are busy earning a living, they wouldn't have time to be joining terrorist organizations. They wouldn't have time to be kidnapping people and committing all sorts of crimes. Before we hear how P2B reacted to General Christopher Musa's statement, let's see what Tinubu said. Tinubu also indicted himself in a statement he posted on his verified X handle. He said, "I am deeply saddened and outraged by the series of tragic events that have shaken our nation in recent days, from the cowardly suicide bombing in Konduga, Borno State, to the horrifying lynching of innocent travelers in Plateau State, and the deadly explosion in Kanu. These attacks on innocent lives are unconscionable and must not stand. The bombing in Borno claimed the lives of innocent Nigerians and was a cruel attempt to spread fear. I have directed the National Emergency Management Agency to provide urgent support to survivors, and I extend my deepest condolences to the government and people of Borno State. I also urge our security forces to intensify efforts to hunt down and rout the remnants of Boko Haram and crush their ability to inflict harm on soft targets as a diversionary tactic. In Plateau State, I strongly condemn the barbaric murder of 12 wedding guests, peaceful citizens who were simply returning from a joyous occasion. I have ordered the Nigerian police to work with all relevant security and intelligence agencies to ensure that those responsible are swiftly apprehended and prosecuted. These killings must not go unanswered. I also call on the government of Plateau State to act decisively to end this vicious cycle of violence and work with the security agencies to get to the root of this recent incident and use it as a deterrent against future occurrences. Freedom of movement is a non-negotiable right of every Nigerian, and we will not tolerate any attempt by anyone or group of people to curtail that fundamental freedom through acts of extreme violence and fear. Furthermore, I sympathize with the families affected by the explosion at the scrap metal facility in Kanu, where 5 lives were lost. This tragic incident highlights the urgent need for stricter adherence to workplace safety protocols I have directed the relevant agencies to investigate the cause and take appropriate actions to prevent a recurrence. I offer my heartfelt prayers to the families of all those who have lost and to the injured, to the people of Borno, Plateau, Kano, and Kaduna states. I stand with you in grief and resolve. We will not rest until justice is done and peace and safety are fully restored across our land. May the souls of the departed rest in peace, and may God continue to protect the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This sounds very much like what P2B would say or post on his social media handles. Tinubu is trying to emulate that. He's trying to show that he's empathetic to the plight of Nigerians, despite being the architect of their problems. He was the one that introduced these failed policies that have impoverished Nigerians more. He has reduced nearly every metric that you can use to measure the economy. He has reduced all of them. In fact, most are in the negative. And because of the constant push by P2B and the opposition that he must show compassion, he must show empathy, he's trying to do all that. As a matter of fact, the reason he visited Benue State after the massacre that happened there was because of the push and the backlash from Nigerians. But by trying to show this empathy, he's indirectly also exposing his incompetence. He is in power, he's supposed to take charge, he's supposed to make sure that insecurity is brought to a minimum, he's supposed to fight all the challenges Nigerians face, but instead, they continue to happen. He has no excuse. There's nothing like, I've done this, I've ordered that, I show sympathy, I do that. You have to do the job. If you can't do the job, then resign, so that others who can do it will go and do the job. Nigerians need results, not excuses. Tinubu and other APC members have been giving Nigerians excuses the past 10 years. In fact, they started by attacking the government in power before they themselves found themselves in power. Now they've been giving us excuses. Under Muhammadu Buhari's administration, he kept giving Nigerians excuses. He kept blaming Goodluck Jonathan and PDP. At the end of the day, he failed woefully. Nigerians were worse off than they were under Goodluck Jonathan's administration. Now he has taken power, he has continued on the excuses. When will the results come?
They don't want you to know about this, but if you were born before 1975, you're entitled to a 25,000
excuses. When will the results come? Now, let's see how P2B reacted to General Christopher Musa's statement that hunger and poverty contribute to insecurity in Nigeria. Posting on his verified X handle, P2B said, I have consistently maintained that the more we pull people out of poverty, the more we reduce criminality. The reverse is also true. You cannot separate security from human development. They are inextricably linked. The criminality we witness in Nigeria today is not a coincidence or an accident. It is the cumulative outcome of decades of misplaced priorities, the direct consequence of poor governance, mismanagement of public resources, monumental corruption, and systemic neglect. I have consistently maintained that development is not about awarding billion-dollar contracts for white elephant projects or building structures without soul or purpose. Real development means investing in the critical areas of human development that directly impact human capital, education, healthcare, and poverty eradication. A country where nearly 100 million citizens live in extreme poverty and over 140 million experience multidimensional poverty will inevitably face a serious security crisis. Interestingly, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, recently affirmed this when he rightly stated, you cannot fight insecurity with bullets alone. You must address the root causes, poverty, unemployment, lack of education, and injustice. This is not coming from a politician, but from the nation's top military commander. Even the boots on the ground know the battle cannot be won by force alone. We must win it through human dignity, opportunity, and justice. Decades earlier, the great Malam Aminu Kano, a man of vision and conscience, warned us. The problem with Nigeria is that we abandon the masses and then criminalize their hunger. His words still ring true today. A child out of school today becomes vulnerable to manipulation and extremism tomorrow. A family that goes to bed hungry becomes a breeding ground for resentment. A community without access to clean water, primary health care, or opportunity becomes a powder keg waiting to explode. Mother Teresa of Calcutta reminds us that when a poor person dies of hunger, it has not happened because God did not take care of him or her. It has happened because neither you nor I wanted to give that person what he or she needed. We cannot keep reacting to crises self-inflicted by bad leadership and policy failure. It is time to disrupt this cycle. We must prioritize productive investment in critical sectors, education, health, and agriculture. These are not just economic priorities, they are national security imperatives. We cannot continue with business as usual. Every naira we invest in people today is one less bullet we need to fire tomorrow. That is the real meaning of security. That is how we build a new Nigeria that is possible. This is common sense for people who don't have an agenda, people who don't have an intentional objective to impoverish Nigerians in order to control them. They weaponize that poverty to achieve their political dreams. So fighting security in Nigeria is very simple. Although the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, already said this many months ago, he said that the military will do their own, while the politicians will also do their own to end insecurity. So they all know that human development contributes to why we are where we are today. If people are busy, like already said, fully engaged, every morning they go to work, in the evening they come back to their homes, their salaries are able to take them home, they are not so much bothered thinking about their future. The mere fact that a police officer or an army officer have to think about his retirement, where is he going to be? Is he going to go back to the village? No. All these contribute to what we see in Nigeria. All the criminality, all the corruption, all the insecurity. These people should be the ones that are earning more than the politicians or on par with them on salary, because they do the heavy lifting, just like doctors and other professionals. But here we are in Nigeria, professors earn a paltry 400,000 or 500,000 naira a month, while a senator earns more than 21 million or 30 million naira a month. Nigerians must take this seriously. You can't allow these people to continue playing with your future. Nigerians must make sure they get it right. If you don't get it right, we are just turning around in circles. Thanks for watching.
Girls, I'm in menopause, but this new...
Greetings, everyone. Michael, I see you. Seed, welcome. Long time. How's everybody doing? I don't have too much to say today. I'm just going to share the videos. When I'm able to, later on in the day, I will come back. However, I have like a few more videos to share with you guys that I think we need to listen to. I'm not bothered by, to be honest, quite honest, but let's listen to this for a minute. Let me just say this before I continue this video, bring this video to you guys. You know, I thought about what happened to Peter Obi and all of that, with the demolition of his brother's properties and all of that. But I feel a sense, there's a sense of renewed strength and hope. I don't know where it's coming from. Don't ask me how, but that's how I feel. You know, what they are doing is trying to intimidate and make Peter Obi lose, focus on exactly what he wants to do for the people. That's exactly, they're trying to break him in every way, but they don't know that they're already dealing with a man that has already dealt with brokenness over and over again, right? Peter Obi is the right person for the occasion. What they have managed to do, right, is to make sure that they win more supporters to Peter Obi's side. That's what they have managed to do. With all of this, a lot more people have now realized and seen that, oh my God, this man, and have now moved over, even amongst themselves. Another thing they're trying to do is distract us as a people. Remember,
Tinubu came out and said he suddenly discovered his classmate that was discovered. Now, finally, people went and did research and found that the man is an arms deal smuggler or seller or whatever it is. Okay? It has been on a timeline and people have been going in on this man in order to try to quell whatever attention, negative attention he has brought on himself, right? Welcome, Mr. Gawalele. Thank you very much for stopping by. In order to quell that, they look for something to do. Like you have said, I took my time and I observed the videos that have been coming out. Exactly, Alex Zingman, right? I've been coming out about this demolition and all of that. How can you destroy a man's property based on we don't know what's it called? No, unknown people filed for judgment. There's no demolition order. You go and you just with your caterpillar and everything. Even the contractor they gave the job to does not know. Hey God. It further exposes what is fundamentally wrong in Nigeria. That's what it has exposed. These people are exposing themselves every day by their evil acts they don't even know. T-Pain never, or it is in a Lagos day. He did not understand that this is Nigeria. The Nigeria is different from Lagos. You can get away with this subjugation and this intimidation because that's his lifestyle, Agbero lifestyle, shout and everything. Most of those people who behave like that, they have no strength. There's no courage. If you do they, boo, they go run. Most of them don't have any power, no strength, nothing. The only thing they are leveraging on is the fact that this man is president. And guess what? Everybody is now seeing him for who he is. Everybody is now seeing him for who he is. That he's inept. He has no clue, no ideas, nothing to hold on to. You don't know what thing they do. The man is clueless. He has the biggest cabinet, yet all of them plus him dons, zero, sawdust, knife with their brain. Exactly, Michael. He will remain a common thief with no clue. He's a visionary thief. All he sees is stealing, stealing, stealing. The end of this thing, it's already upon us. The end of it is upon us. But as Nigerians, the real question is, what are we doing to make sure we galvanize our people on the ground? That is the assignment that you and I have. That is the assignment that you and I have. The Edo State governor came out recently and said he's promising T-Pain 1.5 million. I say they want write am for paper give the man. I be not be people go vote. I don't understand. People have been coming out and doing videos and telling him, Oga, if you want to support your T-Pain, support him in peace. Do not drag the whole of Edo indigenes into it. Support your leader. We want to see how you want to see that 1.5 million. We want to see. Now then they fear pass, but now they get everything. All the military, the police, the financial institutions we have, the Senate, the House of Reps, everything is in the hands, is in the pocket of one man, but they are still afraid. Everything is against Peter Obi, seemingly, but they are the ones still afraid. They're not they sleep for night. I can guarantee you guys. They are plotting and planning. How do we silence these people? How do we silence these people? They not see. I'm going to let you guys listen to this video. Please, guys, pay attention to this video. Hold on 1 second. Let me bring it here. Am I able to turn this around? Oh, I may not be able to turn this around, guys. When I go take them like that, but I want you guys to listen to this carefully.
Hello. Sit down. want to share very important information with you if you're an African. And I want you to start seeing this world from a different mindset. I want you to understand one thing and one thing only. As an African, you are born into a battlefield. Do you understand? The born you enter war. By default, right? You understand? You are a victim of war. I want to show you guys this. You see this picture here now? This picture is the US military swearing in AI executives as lieutenant colonels. These are people that don't have any training, no military training, no combat training, but they've sworn them in as colonels, lieutenant colonels. As a Nigerian who understands, in fact, if you understand military hierarchy, you will know say sergeant day, other ranks day before lieutenant colonel. These are people who are billionaires, tech billionaires. One from Palantir, another one from Meta AI, another one from OpenAI. Why is this dangerous to you? You see, we as Africans have not created anything. When I say on the global scale, we've not created anything. The Instagram that you are using, every chat you make, every conversation you make, behind the doors, there's something collecting what we call data. It's collecting your behavior, it's collecting your patterns, it's collecting the time at which you text frequently. I don't know if you understand. So if they want to get a percentage of all the honey youths in Nigeria, people when they wake up every morning and knock, all they have to do is what? Check how you chat, check the kind of people you are chatting with, the kind of things you are saying in those conversations. And then that AI will curate everything. And then if they just search keywords, maybe they say Nak, Nyash, they'll just see the percentage of people who are talking about Nyash and having conversation with the intention to knock. So they'll just see, 76% of Nigerians are interested in just Nyash. They are not interested in their future. When they check body, sex tape, twerking, they check the percentage. They'll say, 80% of Nigerians are interested in everything sexual, anything that has any sexual connotation, they are interested in it. They will write them down. When they check people who are agitating for freedom, they will check. AI will check. They will just see like 0.0 something percent. They'll say, okay, these guys are, in as much as they are talking, there's no action for their own liberation. They are more concerned with distractions rather than asking the most sensitive question, as in, what are the undertones of everything that is happening in this country? They are buying people in the middle belt. They're strategically buying people in different places and positioning themselves in the forest. We are not asking how they have this proximity to attacks, how they are infiltrating, how they are getting there in the first place. The Chief of Defense Staff is coming to tell you that this is what is happening. They don't know how these things are happening. Forgetting that the repentant Boko Haram, that certain heads of states and certain generals and certain governors came together and imported from Niger, from all these other Saharan, countries, brought them collectively together, brought over 10,000 of these people, creating insecurity and insurgency everywhere to tarnish the reputation of the Nigerian state and then evict Goodluck Jonathan. After doing all those things, they say, we don't finish with una, make una go. They say, go where? We dey inside now. Abi una wan go na yansh open. That's how they had to get a certain head of chairman of cattle rearers and all that, and asked him to, please, if you remove these people, they asked for $1 billion. That $1 billion no come out, but near like 700 million, they gave them, they still did. So those people, they now told you, are repentant Boko Haram, and then they should integrate them back into the military. Are the same people that the Chief of Defense, Chief of Defense of the country is explaining publicly about their incompetencies in securing the lives and properties of people, and telling you that some of their men are leaking out information to those people. So let's establish something. The military has been infiltrated. Your life is in your hand. But this was just a digression. I just say make I deviate so that I will let you know, so that you will not think that the government and this country is out to what? Protect you. Start thinking from that point of view. Secondly, as a sovereign being who understands that all of us they breathe in oxygen and all of us are controlled, and gravity has control over all of us, you're not supposed to give your power to another person. They think say that person will save your life when push comes to shove, when he read. Back to the US. Do you know what it means for somebody to have all your data? This is why I'm telling you that Africa, so as we are now, we've not been able to fund our own social media app where we can secure our own data. We are concerned about what? Japa, Escape, Cruise, Vibes. Spotify recently, the CEO of Spotify, is it Daniel X, whatever his name is, has withdrawn over $600 million US and invested it into drones that will be used for military warfare. So even you will be artists where they claim say, no, I know they sing about my country. Oh, I'm not raising awareness about and towards the emancipation of the black race. I am just concerned with getting out of poverty. But they still carry your money, buy drones we will come by you now. If world war starts now, I want you to ask yourself the question: will you save yourself? Do you have the capacity to save yourself? Will you use the blood of Jesus as a shield to stop bullets? Will you use prayer to miraculously disappear? How are you going to fight for the sovereignty of your nation, your own being, and the sovereignty of your land, and the sovereignty of your unborn children or the children that are born? Imagine you as a man, war don't break, you are scared, your fear triples. In fact, if you have one child, it doubles, plus your wife, it triples. Another child, that is how your fear. So you hit a rate of anxiety where you can even have high BP and collapse, because you step into the role of protecting your family without protection. You know that these guys, if you use cutlass, they stop bullets. Do you understand? You can't use cutlass to be stopping bullets. Meanwhile, they are in the forest getting military training. We are here quarreling about which political party we align. Every news and media that is fed to you, you argue within the boundaries of that news. That is when you need critical thinking to step out and say, but wait, what do they stand to achieve by giving me this information? Why are they sending me this information? What is the purpose of this information? Then you jump, say the talk, say now this one, say, oh, this one, you are still within the boundaries of that. Why are they trying to capture the middle belt? What is in the middle belt? Do you understand? Why is it that we have international hands meddling in the affairs of Nigeria? In the case of independence, how was independence given to us? How did we fight for it? Did we fight for independence? No. Who was it handed over to? Mind you, when the British came, they already saw that the Fulani people had already subdued the Hausa nations. So there was no point doing double colonization or subduing. They used indirect rule. So when they were leaving, who did they hand it over to? Of course, they handed it over to some people and say, you guys are the managers of this place, do as you please. So when you see Nigerians shouting, oh, Trump, come and help us, US, come and help us, you are an idiot and a fool. Are you hearing me? You are a big, fat fool. You need to learn to help yourself. You think Trump is more concerned. People that have marketed their nation through action movies, war movies, showing you their military strength and all that. You can see how the programming is working for you right now. And now they have your data. And the people who have the data, who have the most powerful platforms on the surface of this earth, who have collected your data, who has collected all your insecurities, who have questioned everything you are questioning, they have all the data. They can say, these people don't know who they are. These ones are asking about irrelevant things. These ones are insecure about their skin. These ones are asking the safest way to get BBL. This youth is asking how they open how to toast babe. This one wants to do like this. This one wants to do like that. But none of them are fighting for their sovereignty, their right of existence. So our cattle and livestock are doing what? Well. Nobody's fighting, nobody's quarreling, nobody's agitated, nobody's tensed up enough, nobody's scared enough to react. Look at the leaders we have today. You say we are in a democracy, where we are in kakistocracy. Government by the least suitable candidate. Look around you. A suitable candidate who has no direction, no purpose, but besides enriching themselves. We claim we've gone to school and we are concerned about our future or our life or our existence, but we do not even look into the budget to understand where the monies are going. We are just at the mercy. So we've moved from resistance to direct participation in our own slavery. I don't know if you understand. It's like prisoner carry himself, put himself inside handcuff, carry the key, give another person, say, carry chain, put for their neck, say, oh yeah, they drag me, they go. Do you understand? Palantir, Open AI, Meta AI, all your chat, all your toasting, all your everything is in their hands and you are helpless. And you look at what's happening within all these places bombing here, bombing there, people dying, 200 and something people dying, and you think that it is not war. You think it's not war. You think that we just talking on social media is enough. We are not thinking about how do we stop these guys. How do we stop all these leaders from attaining power, these so-called leaders who only have the resources to bribe their ways, leverage on poverty in those local communities, and then give them money, and then in turn collect their votes? How do we disrupt them? Are you telling us that, okay, which political party, since to form political party and give ourselves structure is very hard now. If I come out today and say, hey, come, let's gather in this place, you ask me, who is this person? You will allow ego to use your mind and say, why is this person? What authority does Tokma have to call us together and say, let us plan? Forgetting that as we come together, I'll bring my intelligence, so another person will bring their intelligence. Before you know, we have a town hall meeting of intelligent fellows. Are you trying to tell me now that if the age bracket between millennials and Gen Z is 170 million, and you donate 100 naira towards the cause of disrupting Nigeria and putting in new youths who will just disrupt the system? Right now, you are not concerned with whether this one will be holy youth, whether this one no go be holy youth, whether this one no get corruption. No, you want to disrupt the system. We should be old enough to make our mistake. If president at my age, I feel go do something. That's what I'm telling you guys. Like, I go, they look my age mate, they ask my son, now my age mate, they turn me to slave like this. I go find ways to say, okay, you know what, let's go together. Maybe that will send a strong message. But you've been subdued by your parents. The people in power subdued your own parents. That's how they've subdued to you. You are just the benefactor of subduing. You've benefited from being doormats that they work on top of our head. That is why we have the information but no action. Generation with the knowledge but the action no. In reality, identity is lacking in them because their fathers being pray and their mothers being pray. So they go down there. So they go down their knees and pray in situations like this. That's why I see things like God will help us. You're silly. You think God is our mate? They've given us word. Let me use he for God. Giving us brain. People who are using their brain to cause you anarchy, you are waiting for God to help you use your brain to save yourself. You don't know that if somebody does something to you that you don't like, you have every right to do something back to the person so that both of you will learn the lesson. If you slap me and I punch you from out, you understand that, okay, this is how it tastes. You get me? That is how life is. We learn through actions. And these actions that are happening now, we are not learning. If I say, let's come together, let us form a WhatsApp group that we can fund our own tech. We don't need anybody's patent. We can fund our own tech so that Africans' data is secure, just the way China is securing their data right now. They have their own chat app. They have their spaces. If you go there, you just see Chinese language, you go just come off for there. Do you understand? They are securing their own data. Africa's data is everywhere to the world. That is why most foreign investors are more successful in Africa than African investors. And you wonder why. You think it's a form of superiority. It's because they know what you think, they know how you think, and they know what we sell. So your data is in the hands of the enemy, because whether you like it or not, maybe black people colonize you. And the people who have colonized you, see, they are using heads-up display. They are going to be investing in gadgets that once they are on the war front, like they give them information in real time about you, how you think, your decision making. If person busts your door now, they will know what thing your first reaction will be. That is where we are. So I want to use this to welcome all the 4,000 followers that came due to my videos. But let me tell you why you are here. I am not an activist. I am like you. I just decided to throw away fear. Do you understand? I decided to speak because our end game is death. Everything you are concerned about will not matter. You will die and leave it and go. What is the impact you are living here? Are you contributing to the evolution of your race and your continent? Or you are just a nuisance walking the face of the earth and just polluting the place? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Secondly, look at the educational sector of Nigerians and Africa. Is the educational sector there to teach you the fundamentals of becoming anything, or just a place that dumps you and dulls your brain so that when you come out, you have nothing to offer? That is where it is. If our educational sector was important to us, why are teachers going on strike? Why is very dark man outside there protesting? You people think that we are entertaining you. You think that because the way we are speaking now is for you to feel like, when you feel the emotion, you feel like, oh, somebody has spoken to you. No. Speaking is to raise you towards action. Do you understand? And some of us will not just rush and go and buy, because if we rush and buy and the mission is not completed, at the end of the day, it was too early, because we just spoke and people just listened and they went about their life. So you need to ask yourself, why are you in the circle of people who are not concerned about their future, who are not concerned about the elevation of their race? Look at how helpless we are. And war is looming. You must know, history has taught you that conflict must always happen. If World War I happened, and World War II happened, World War III will still happen. But people are preparing themselves. While we are doing what? Catching cruise, listening to music, thinking that Afrobeat is taking over the world, so we become great, seeking external validation, thinking that we need to be rewarded by the Grammys before we are proper musicians, forgetting that all of us are playing a role in this life. I'm not a musician. I came and met music and learnt it. I'm not a Christian. I came here and met Christian parents who came and met Christianity. That's how they came and met it. When I'm going, I'm not dying a Christian. I will leave you people here with everything and go. You that is a Muslim, you came and met it. But we are the race of people that fight and kill over things we never created. We didn't create any of these things we are meeting, religion, all those things, but we are fighting over it to say which one is the best, because we don't have anything to fight. We can't fight for ourselves. That's why we need to fight for something external, because they have brainwashed you. They've mentally caged you from thinking critically. Even as much as you think you have independence, you have no control over what your children learn. You are putting your children in school, forgetting that the parents are going through the same struggle you are going through, and then they are onboarding their frustration on top of your children. And your children are just getting different toxic traits, getting different things to further reinforce the need why they should seek validation, because everywhere they turn, they are not accepted. I want you to understand. Do you get? It's not about coming to shout and tell you these people are this, they are stupid, and these guys stupid, our leaders are idiots. No, it will sweet you to hear me or other people talk about these things. But that's not the end goal. That is not the point. That is just an expression of anger and frustration. The real thing is this. We need to disrupt the system. There are other political parties. We can fundraise, buy presidential tickets for different youths, make them fight, make them scatter the votes, make we spoil everywhere. The people where they bribe for village, we go see bribe them, make them no vote. Those people, make them vote us and disrupt the system. Anything inside your mind now should be disrupting the system, scatter everything. Do you know that the politicians who are putting people who look like you and I and calling us youth have already groomed them in corruption? They've showed them what they've been doing and giving it to them. That is why I see the president's son moving like that. And tomorrow he will lead you. Somebody who cannot articulate himself. Why I saw him speaking. I say, why? You are the president's son. Yes, speak with intelligence. Let me be proud of you. Speak. Tell me why your father is the president. Why we should support your dad. I didn't hear anything. Do you understand? Like I said, death is the eventuality at the end of the day. You go pain you now, you go pain my loved ones, you go pain when you go to pain your loved ones. But you are gone, you are gone. But what is it you are doing here? Right now, when your data, everything you know, is being handled by another country, you are the mercy, you are in their palm. They're giving them Lieutenant Colonel. And the guy in Palantir is talking about how they created foundries and how vaccines were able to be given out to other people. These vaccines they are speaking about, what are the components of those vaccines that you know? What is inside the vaccine? Your country did not test it. They did not do any trial. Chook you. Every drug, chook you. Because in our mind, we've seen them as superior and we are their mercy, and anything they do is right and is correct, but we do not have credibility in ourselves. That's why with the Yab products, we come up for our back. I don't want that Abba thing. I don't want this one. I don't want that one. Because we are now trying to gain validation. Anything that comes from outside is validated. The chess genius we have here in Nigeria, he had to be validated outside for us to accept him. If you hear a come say this guy na genius, then I say which chess help? Who chess help? You think chess want do for you? Do you understand? So let it ring in your head that you are a sitting dog, you are a sheep and a cattle in another person's farm, and you do not have any right for your own self, be self-determined enough to save yourself. And everything about you is in another person's farm. They are observing, they are seeing, they are looking, they are watching everything. So that should be enough fear in your head for you to understand that you want to think is cruise. You want to think, man, never chop. Some of you say, I never chop this guy, they tell me all this one. You are still in a state of survival. You go chop, you go die. Some of you die gruesomely. Like those people that were burnt in their houses, in stores, in Yelwata, they were roasted. Mind you, before that time, different newses were coming out. Kidnappers kidnap boss here. This one's caught all of them. This one, that side, Naka, you can't even travel going to Naka. The Doma land is on a siege, under siege. You know, make news. Because the same media that are supposed to tell you everything are working for the government, and they have to be loyal to the government. Or somebody inside there has to ask his friend who knows the government that wants to publish this news so that it will not tarnish the government, so that he'll be in graces. And you think you're in control of your life. You know, there's no truthfulness anywhere. Everybody has an angle. Everybody has an angle. That's why the news is just hitting you. Because somebody else risks his life. Whether he got the information before you, he was there to show the world, and the world saw it. But this is not anybody's duty. We are all serving as inspiration to our generation so that people can keep rising the way we have decided to rise up. The percentage of people who speak against this slavery that is happening in Africa are like this. So small. So small. So small. If you become serious, Pella will not be your most celebrated celebrity. If you are serious about your life, all those people will not have the followers they have. But you are a clown and you want to be looking for jokes. You want to be looking for jokes every time. And so your life will also be what? A joke. Have a nice day. Hello.
Hey, anyway, guys, I hope that you guys listen to that. I'm hoping that for those of you that will be listening to this after, I hope that you will take it in and really ponder on it. Because waiting this young man talk, there's not one thing that is a lie that he has spoken. So it's up to us, anyhow we want to do it. If we want to continue to be sitting ducks and be another animal in somebody's stable, sure, okay, it's up to us. We'll make that decision. But now here I go end am for today. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Mr. Guy Walele, thank you. Michael, my brother, thank you very much. Seed, thank you. I'll see you guys on my next one. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.